Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy JD. I hope you've all had a great day. I hope you've all had a great week so far. As usual, in today's episode, it's that time where we sit down and discuss more than one topic that's causing quite the stir on the internet right now. And let's just say that firstly, we're going to be taking a look at this TikToker who has given everybody a few laughs after they decided to post a video of themselves discussing a story where they got misgendered. The wrong name was used at the post office. Secondly, Megan Rapinoe, who is somebody that seems to moan better than they can score penalties. I don't know about you guys, but she's now hit back at the critics who are apparently ready for the team to fail. They couldn't wait for the team to fail. And oh yeah, she's discussed equal pay again. And lastly, Joe Biden and his Maui response, because I think we can all agree it has been absolutely terrible and not how a president of the United States should be acting. Then again, you could probably say that about most of the years he's been in office. But nonetheless, before we carry on with this video, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Share this video. But enough of all of that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this. So as always, and I think most of you are aware of this by now on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, you are almost guaranteed every time you click onto that app to see a liberal most of the time complaining, airing their frustrations on how something didn't go their way and it goes viral. Something doesn't go according to their plan, the world must stop spinning, right? So TikToker has taken it upon themselves to post a video that has gone viral of them telling a story where they got misgendered, the wrong name was being used. It's a very unfortunate situation, and I'm sure you guys are in so much anticipation to see this clip. It's nothing you've never seen before, you know, it's groundbreaking stuff, and it really just does show you the issues that are going on in the world right now, the issues that everybody should be focusing on. So traumatizing. Take a watch.
I just got misgendered at the post office. So some backstory, my mailbox lock is broken, so I've been having to pick my mail up at the post office until my apartment fixes it. And I had to give them my ID to actually get my mail, and my ID still has my dead name on it. So, like, looking like this, like, what part of this screams mail? But this older dude sees my ID, sees my dead name on it, then says, "Have a great day, dead name." Like, bruh, one of the packages you asked me about literally has my preferred name on it. What is wrong with you? Can you please not be transphobic? Like, what part of this screams male? Like, what?
So, there's a couple things I want to touch on here. If those of you that didn't notice, these are the individual's pronouns. She, they, pup, paw. I think I speak for everybody here. That is pretty normal, right? Right? But at the end of the day, this is what happens when people, and as we all know, there are a load of them who make their identity their whole personality. It's their life purpose, and they've been encouraged to, right? Everybody's telling them, well, if you go down this road, if you make these certain changes to your lifestyle, to the way you think, it's actually better for you. It now gives your life purpose, and it's placed on a pedestal. So when something unfortunate as this goes on, they then go on TikTok and make these videos of them, you know, so traumatized by the whole situation. Look, the people at the post office, or the person at the post office, clearly was as confused as we all are, right? And just simply made a mistake. You can't expect an individual or the whole world to conform to your worldview, your life, when just because one day you decided things weren't going quite right and there was something wrong. And, you know, we've mentioned this in a previous video, literally a couple of days ago. There are now more and more people on this planet who actually think, you know, being misgendered or using the wrong name should be illegal. It should be a criminal offense. On July 16th, for example, the New York Post reported millennials want woke pronoun censorship, but it would backfire, as we all know. A new poll shows just how far support for free speech has fallen, especially among young people. A plurality of millennials think misgendering, not using someone's preferred pronouns, should be criminalized, according to a survey Newsweek published Saturday. The Redfield and Wilton Strategies poll found that 44% of those aged 25 to 34 think referring to someone by the wrong gender pronoun, he/him, she/her, should be a criminal offense. Now, again, I'm sure using the wrong name would come under those list of offenses. So even if you get the wrong name and you don't use paw/pup, you could be placed in a cell next to me, yours truly. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, how has the world reached this point? You know, we could answer that in many ways, but I really do think people just need to put the phones down, go outside and, you know, get some fresh air, maybe touch some grass, because it's actually really good for the mental state. And I think we'll leave it at that one. On to the next story. So Megan Rapinoe, ladies and gentlemen, once again has managed to find herself in the news. This time she's hitting back at the critics of the US women's national team, because how dare there be criticism, right? And she has also brought up equal pay again. Now, as a male, to disagree with equal pay in this industry, right, is pretty much a criminal offense. A lot of criminal offenses going on in this video. I am guilty as charged, but as a football fan, and I've been a football fan for pretty much most of my life, and there's people probably older than me who are watching who have been football fans longer than I have, but we all know this equal pay talk within this industry doesn't make any sense and will actually harm women's football in the short term and the long term, and we'll discuss it all in a bit as we get through this article of Megan Rapinoe giving this groundbreaking interview. But Megan Rapinoe has called the criticism of the US women's national team fake and has claimed people were just waiting for them to fail. Cry me a river. Megan Rapinoe has fired back at her detractors after receiving criticism in the aftermath of her penalty miss, which led to the United States crashing out of the World Cup. 38-year-old playing in her final game for the US women's national team was one of 3 stars who failed to score during the penalty shootout in their last 16 defeat to Sweden. Angry USA fans slammed Rapinoe after her miss, with most of their focus of anger being down to the fact that she laughed immediately after blazing her spot kick over the bar. Seems like a laugh to me. I don't know about you guys, not somebody who really is upset by the situation. But Donald Trump then reignited his feud with the outspoken Rapinoe after her miss, sarcastically remarking "nice shot, Megan" in a social media post criticizing the US women's national team. Asked about the former president's comments, Rapinoe told The Atlantic, "What he's saying is fake. It's a compilation of hit words and hot button words that don't actually make any sort of sense or square with reality at all. Like you wanting men to play in women's sport, right? It doesn't really square with reality at all." I think just in general, the way that our team was spoken about over the course of the tournament, it was fake and it didn't make any sense to me. In 2019, we were ultra confident, ultra swaggy and won everything. And even though we won, we did it in bad taste according to our critics. This time we weren't confident enough and we didn't have the right mentality, and so we lost. It's just so disingenuous. There's no way for us to win and there's no way for us to lose. Rapinoe said the comments were disappointing and added everybody on the right and everybody who was using hateful language and these tropes, it's like they have just been waiting since, I don't know, 2016, 2019, they've been waiting for this team to stumble. But when we are perfect, then we are accused of thinking that we're perfect. Now moving briefly on to the Atlantic website for more of their interview. Apologies about the length, it seems like they love for her to talk so much for whatever reason. The interviewer goes on to ask, "We've seen players taking action against unfair workplace conditions that they've been subjected to. Protests have spread across the world. How do you view your own role and the role of the US women in the global story?" Rapinoe then goes on to say, "What I've realized for a long time is that we're playing 2 games at the same time. Well, if you focused on one, you might have actually got through the round. One, we're playing all against each other, and then the other one, we're still playing together to win equality and progress and what we deserve. We want these other teams to be paid equally and to have the resources that they deserve and not to be subjected to misogyny and racism and sexism. If that comes at the expense of our own dominance, yeah, we want that." So the reason, Megan Rapinoe, that people don't actually like your team at the moment, and it's really sad that a British YouTuber who's a lot younger can actually see it, and I don't play football and she can't, right? That's very strange. But the reason as to why people don't like your team is because of the position you put yourself within politics and how arrogant you come across. I mean, even Ronaldo comes across as more humble than you and your team, and that's saying something. Firstly, at this World Cup, many of the teammates refused to sing the national anthem. Now, you are the leader of this team. I'm sure if you said to them, "Hey, look guys, maybe we should sing the national anthem," they would follow suit. But I don't think you actually like the national anthem all too much because you've actually kneeled in the past during the national anthem. Can you see why people don't like you and the team? And then you also think men should be playing with women in sports? You know, a lot of those things disrespect a lot of people within the country you claim to represent, but in the very same sentence, you dislike so much and everything is so wrong with it. You can't represent a country and want them to like you when you're doing exactly the opposite to make them like you. You criticize the whole country, you tear it down in every interview you get, and you still think people should come out and clap for you and cheer for you? How can we all see that, but they can't? It's like me representing England, but I say, nah, you know what? This country is actually heavily racist. Everything is wrong with it. I don't even know why I'm playing. Do you think they're going to cheer for me when I'm running with the ball? No. Absolutely not. And then we move on to the equal pay part that Megan Rapinoe heavily pushes for. right? Unfortunately, and it's surprising nobody in her circle has told her this, it's never ever going to happen. It doesn't make any financial sense. Billions of people tune in to the men's football every week, and I would probably say a fraction watch the women's football. Already me just saying that, it doesn't make business sense, does it? Where is the funding going to come from? These players are on huge wages. If you even paid one team those sort of wages the men are on, it would completely dismantle the whole structure. If you want to destroy women's sport, women's football, then go ahead. Pay these athletes the same that men get. It won't be around for long. And I actually think when Megan Rapinoe and others come out with these buzzwords, they're actually hurting the female side of sport, because the audience you need to watch you, to make sure you get a lot more money, you're turning them away by using such phrases. People do not want to be lectured. Men are being lectured quite a lot with this whole women's football thing, and it's just turning them away. If you want people to watch your football, want people to watch what you're doing, do what has to be done on the pitch and stop speaking about politics off the pitch. And maybe, just maybe, more eyes will be drawn to it, because women's football can be great sometimes. I watched some of the World Cup this year and some of it was fantastic. But when you get people like Megan Rapinoe making it such a boring and tedious thing for people to get involved in because they constantly feel like they're being lectured, you're not going to gain a lot more people watching the sport, are you? But now, on to our last and final topic of today, Joe Biden. So in Maui, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure you're all aware of this story, it's absolutely devastating. There were wildfires that have completely destroyed the area. You know, around 115 people are dead. I believe thousands are still missing, and obviously homes have been destroyed. Now, as of this point, I don't think the reason has actually been clarified as to why the wildfire started. As of August 21st, the exact cause of the Maui wildfire is still unknown, although the National Weather Service says the risk of fire was high given the winds and dry conditions on the island. Many theories are floating around, and I hope in some time we get an actual clear reason as to why all of this happens. But when a situation like this does happen in any part of the world, doesn't matter what country it is, the person who is in charge, the president, the prime minister, the leader of that country, is expected to go over there and show support, solidarity, not take their time about it, like Joe Biden, because apparently vacations are more important. A couple of weeks ago, when he was asked about the whole situation, he says no comment.
Talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Nothing there.
Yeah, not the greatest response, right? It's a terrible response and not really one people want to hear. But then again, is Joe Biden famous for his responses? No. But when he does actually turn up, finally, and he gets on stage to deliver a speech, something that should be used to galvanize people, right? Bring people together, tell people we're here to help you and we're going to do everything to make sure it gets back on track. Not Joe Biden, because somehow, some way, he's managed to make it all about himself. I didn't know he actually had the, awareness to do such a thing, but he goes on to say, I understand what it feels like. I almost lost my wife, my Corvette, and my cat. I've almost lost my Corvette, so I understand what you're going through. Only Joe Biden. Take a watch.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday, and lightning struck at home on a little lake that's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded. There's an old expression. I grew up right across the street from a fire hall in Claymont, Delaware.
People have gathered there to hear this person and how he's going to help them more, how he's going to galvanize everybody, as I've been saying, how they're going to put things back on track. And to make it all about yourself is completely insane. To compare your situation where you apparently almost lost your Corvette and cat is so bizarre. We also understand you'd be a bit more sympathetic if the place began with U and ended in E, and you'd probably travel there the next day with billions in your pocket, but because it's closer to home, you don't really know if you should go there or not. And let's be honest, he's probably only gone there because he's been told to go there. Otherwise, he would probably still be on vacation on a beach. It definitely does scream leadership to me, guys, and I don't know about you, but I don't think we've ever seen somebody so charismatic and somebody who people can really rally behind. I think he should become the next president in 2024. It would really put America down the right path. But we've also got this video that's going viral of Joe Biden where apparently he was falling asleep during the event.
We are a community that relies on family, on ohana, whether by blood or by friendship. But like many others...
Now, if this happened, I don't think it would surprise anybody, right? Because as I said, he's not famous for his responses, he is famous for drifting off when it matters most. But apparently, according to community notes, this isn't the case, and he didn't actually fall asleep, which is a great thing, and I think people should be very happy he wasn't falling asleep, because if the President of the United States was falling asleep during such an event, no words, no words. But the community notes on X go on to say a high-definition video from C-SPAN shows that Biden's eyes were open, not closed, during the very same moments displayed in this low-quality clip published on X.
Like many others who left with nothing, they too were given clothes, food, and shelter by someone they may have never met before. We are a community that relies on family, on ohana, whether by blood or by friendship. But like many others, my son's home burned down. My daughter's home burned down.
Now again, it wouldn't surprise anyone if it did happen. That's how low the standards are, right? If that was the case, people wouldn't be surprised. That's very telling in itself. And when you think about it, right, the election is what? Next year. And there are genuinely people within America who are sat there thinking, you know, maybe should I vote for Joe Biden or not? I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I actually should. Those people actually exist. With everything he's done and said, which sometimes isn't covered or is spun by the mainstream media, you sit back and you look at it and you think, how can anybody be voting for this man? He struggles to speak in some sentences, and this should be the leader of America. This is who liberals, progressives potentially want to be president again. To be fair though, you know, they could just come out and say all the buzzwords and say we're going to do everything for these groups, for the progressive groups, and they get out of their chairs and they start clapping. Well, this is great. Again, that's how low the standards are, right? I really do hope America does the right thing in 2024 and this man doesn't get elected again. That's all I'm saying from a British point of view. But to finish this video off, and it really does put it into perspective for a lot of people, right? How do the Maui residents feel? I'm sure many of you have seen these clips that are going viral. How do they feel about Joe Biden?
So why aren't you taking care of what you claim to be in charge of, rather than sending out all these funds and whatever else you guys are sending to Ukraine or anywhere? Take care of here first. You know, this, I don't see why any president wouldn't step up and take care of what's part of their, you know, territory. I think it's a stupid move on his part. You know, Biden, yeah, he's an idiot.
You mentioned the community, but are you getting enough help from the government tonight?
My parents received a check for $700, which was a slap in the face. The $700 was given by the government, and I feel like it's not enough. Living in Hawaii, you spend groceries, you know, everything is so expensive. Groceries can be as much as $700 just for one grocery run, and it's not enough. And right now, the Maui community is helping the Maui community. And it's really affected me because where's the president? He decides to come here this week, to come here next week. I mean, like, where aren't we Americans too? Like, we're part of the United States, but why are we getting put in the back pocket? Why are we being ignored? And I feel like These families need aid right away.
The priorities, man, are completely backwards, right? And again, it just really blows my mind. There are people out there who are sat there within their homes right now and thinking to themselves, maybe I will vote for Joe Biden once again. It just really does show you these people care more about something going on across the world than something closer to home. And that's all you really need to know about these people is telling enough. But ladies and gentlemen, leave your thoughts and opinions down below about everything we've discussed in this video today. I would love to hear them all. If you're new, again, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Share this video if you enjoyed. I forgot to say, leave a like rating as it really helps out the video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.